Failure. What is it? How do you overcome it? How do you keep going after you've lost and you keep getting beat down? This is a topic that I am very familiar with, unfortunately. Um, in my life, have always been very difficult to do. Positive things, anyway. It's always been very difficult to do. Um, I've always seemed to have to, do things a lot longer and a lot harder to see just a minute piece of success that I've seen other people do, um, and it might be the same for you, it might not be. But what we're going to talk about is what I want to talk to you about is failure. Now, I truly believe that you only actually fail when you stop trying. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to want to stop. If you're anything like me, life is just going to kick the shit out of you constantly and you're going to want to give up. But as long as you are breathing, I feel like you can't give up, especially if you got people that you care about, people that depend on you. I've seen a lot of people get started with their own business and it lasts no longer than a month or two. They're right back, at a job. They give up on it. They wasn't really serious about it, or they believed some YouTube guru when they said, "Oh, it's super easy. You can make $100,000 in 2 days," or some, bullshit like that. But me, when I first got started with all of this, I was on furlough from my job, and I started in real estate wholesaling. Got my first big win, 15,000 in 42 days. Um, then it was dry after that for a few months, and then I got my first lease option deal, and it's been off and on since then. There's a lot of people on here that want to tell you, and they probably are at that level where they're getting consistent deals and stuff like that. And you can too. It's all about your market. There's quite a few different things that play a factor into whatever it is you're trying to do, whether it's real estate or digital marketing, AI marketing, selling AI employees / AI agents, whatever it is. There's always there's always that uphill battle when you're getting started. Me personally, my battle, I think, with my businesses has been so tough, um, in a sense that, number one, I've never really had anybody that had my back to try to, assist me. I've talked to other guys that are doing what I'm doing, and it's pretty consistent straight across the board. They talk about, well, my wife does this, and my brother does this, and my mom does this, and my sister does this, and my niece does this, and blah, 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 and I pay attention to sales and woo woo. I've never had that. I tried to pull my ex-wife into it. She wasn't feeling it. Um, Come to find out, it was a whole nother thing with her, and she didn't want me to grow because I believe anyway, from her actions and the things that she said, she didn't want me to grow because she thought that once I reach a certain level, so people don't want you to grow because when you grow, it shows it makes them aware of their smallness, if that makes sense. So if you're shining, it illuminates someone else's dullness. And so she was actively, sabotaging me in the beginning. And I still kept going. And when I mean keep going, I was up when I wasn't at a job. I was up 5, 6 in the morning, literally falling asleep at the kitchen table on my laptop, just grinding, figuring shit out, watching videos, reading blogs, reading forums, asking questions in Facebook groups, looking around, checking out other people's websites, trying to see how other people was doing shit, trying to figure shit out. And even right now, I'm feeling down. today. Um, I recently had to go back to work. If y'all know me, then y'all know that I just went through a divorce last year, and I'm still recovering from that. It's a lot of bullshit. I lost a lot, had to give up a lot in the midst of all of that. Lost 2 dogs, had to put one down, and it's just a lot of recovering mentally and physically and emotionally that I'm still doing. You know, business is still running. I'm not anywhere near where my goals are right now. And that bothers me. That bothers me. I'm constantly setting goals for myself, constantly setting action plans to get to myself, but it always seems like there's something that gets in the way of me doing that. Right? Since I got started with this late 2019, early 2020, I've had to go back to work, which completely just breaks my fucking soul. It destroys me having to go back and work for another motherfucker. This is my third time now. The first time I was doing the big boy, the rigs, the box trucks, the drive-ins. Second time, pneumatic trailers. That was last year, right after I filed for divorce and got put out of my house and all that bullshit. And now I'm driving the ready mix trucks. Some decent money, and it's seasonal, so even when shit picks back up, I probably even stay with this just because it's only 7 to 8 months out the year, and some good ass money just for those 7 to 8 months. But you know, who knows? But my point in all of that is you are going to fall, and you're going to have to do shit that you didn't want to have to do. So if you work in jobs, you're going to have to work the job, and you know, if you are hustling, you're going to have to continue to do what you need to do in order to put food on the table until this shit kicks in. But my overall point in saying all of this shit is do not stop. Do not give up. Do not give up. If you talk to any successful person, watch their videos or whatever, the Alex Hormozis, the Brian Tracy's, the Jim Rohns, however you say his last name, the Dan Penas, if you talk to any one of them motherfuckers or listen to any of their videos, they will tell you that what sets aside a success story versus a failed attempt is the ability to keep going no matter what the fuck happens. The ability to keep going no matter how much life slaps the shit out of you and knocks you down. No matter how much all the people around you hate on you and actively try to sabotage your success. You pick yourself up and you continue to move forward. All right? And you're going to have days like I'm having today, this whole weekend. I'm still, you know, super depressed that I even had to go back and work for a motherfucker and listen to somebody and call somebody else my boss. It's the anniversary of my pops dying. If you don't know that story, you watch one of my other videos, I'll tell you about it. But what fucks me up the most about that is that I forgot about it. June 2nd. I completely forgot about it until this weekend. And the job that I'm at, I'm pulling in 60 hours a week, right? 60 plus. That leaves little time to focus on things that I really care about. You know, I've got a small team of motherfuckers that are, you know, doing what they can, but the mastermind behind it all is absent from it right now. And that bothers me to not be able to get up in the morning, do my normal routine, take my dog out, hit the gym, get at my computer and work on me and the ones I care about's future. That bothers me. And the one thing that I feel about a job and a hustle, a grind, whatever the fuck you're doing, you can't leave that to anybody you care about. You can't leave a job to your kids when you die. You can't. That's not a thing. So you're going to doubt yourself a lot. You're going to doubt yourself a lot. You're going to fail a lot. You're going to fall a lot. There's gonna be times where you're gonna feel like shit because you're gonna feel like you didn't get as much done, and that's what I'm going through right now because I'm so fucking tired getting back to work that the whole weekend I'm like, oh, I'm cool, I'm a chill. But then it comes time where after today, gotta hit back to the job. I'm thinking to myself like, fuck, I wasted the entire weekend, and that bothers me. And it's gonna bother you too because you're gonna have times like that. And it took me a while to realize what the roller coaster is that people used to talk about. I used to think that they meant it's a roller coaster where sometimes you're making money, sometimes you're not, sometimes you're making money, sometimes you're not. But no, it's not that. It's the emotional roller coaster of being a fucking entrepreneur, being a business owner. This shit is stressful. It's very stressful. It's emotionally abusive. Depending on what business you're in, it might be physically abusive, and it's almost like the universe with me anyway. And I've seen people jump into this game like way after I have, and they're way more successful than I am right now. And the universe just favored them for some reason. They either had money to get started with. I started flat ass broke. They either had money to get started with or had a family that believed in their dream and got behind them, things that I didn't and still don't have. I'm still a one-man army. Still pushing every fucking day. Trying to anyway. But it's going to get hard. It's going to get unbearable. It's going to seem like it's going to be unbearable sometimes. But you got this shit. All right? You got it. You just got to keep doing something. Keep moving in the right direction. I had a conversation with my son about a month ago. I woke him up in the morning and I'm like, are you happy with your life right now? And he was like, no. And I ain't asking like, where do you want to be? I just told him flat out, if you are not happy with where your life is right now, then you waking up wrong. You waking up wrong. And what I mean by that is if you wake up and you lay in a bed and you play on fucking TikTok or play a game on your phone or some shit like that for a half hour or an hour, or you go sit on the toilet for a fucking hour in the morning just playing games on your phone, then you are doing your mornings wrong. You are waking up wrong. There's no fucking reason if you have the free time, unless you're going through a depressive state, a depressive season. But you got to get up out of that and keep going. But like I was saying, there's no free time that you have that should not be spent on trying to get your life to where you want it. It's just not. There's no excuse. If you don't know something, look it up. We literally walk around with fucking supercomputers in our pockets. A 5 megabyte computer, this is a terabyte. A 5 megabyte computer in the 50s or 60s or some of that shit took up the size of this room that I'm sitting in right now. And now I have a terabyte with, what's the processing power? It's like, I don't know, like 16 gigs of processing power on that phone. The computer has 32 gigs of processing power now and 3 terabytes on here in this little small box right here. But my point is, you have a fucking supercomputer in your pocket. And now that we've always had Google, you can always Google any fucking thing and learn about it. Wikipedia used to have Ask Jeeves back in the day. Some of y'all might be way too young to even know what that is, but now you have AI. You can hold in-depth conversations with AI. You can turn it into your therapist, your business partner, whatever. Your motivational coach, whatever. But you now have AI. So if you don't know something, my point is there's no fucking reason for you to continue to not to know it if you have the free time to learn it. So stop waking up wrong. Stop waking up wrong. Brace yourself for the roller coaster and just keep getting back up. When this shit knocks the fuck out of you and you hit the ground, you get back up. That's all I got for you on this video.